You can whip it up in just minutes, but it won't last that long once it's done. That's coming up. About this dessert so much is you throw everything in the bowl, you mix it up, it goes in the oven, and you're done. All desserts aren't that easy, but this one certainly is. Let me tell you what you're gonna need to whip this one up in a jiffy. First, you're gonna need some flour. I have white sugar, baking powder and baking soda, cinnamon, and nutmeg. You're also gonna need 1/2 of a stick of butter at room temperature. I have milk, 1 egg, and also because this is an apple cake, you need apples. Now, you've heard a lot that desserts with apples, the recipe always says use Granny Smith apples. So I grabbed 1 Granny Smith. It's a sour apple, but obviously you sweeten it up with all the delicious ingredients you put together. But my personal favorite kind of apple is a Fuji apple, so I wanted to incorporate that as well. So I have 2 different kinds of apples. You use what you have at your grocery store and what you have on hand. It's super simple and no big deal to get it all done. First things first, I'm gonna get these apples all chopped up and ready to go. This is the way I like to cut up my apples for this dessert. All right, so you have your little core here, and then I have it in about 4 chunks. Again, you do you, cut it up however you want. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the green apple, and then we'll go on to the next step. Apples are all diced up and ready to go. And now let's go on to the next step. We're gonna toss our things in the mixer here. Flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and nutmeg in the bowl. Also in the bowl, we've got our butter. Room temperature. It's so nice because you really just throw everything in the bowl and it works. In goes our milk, 1 egg. And we're just gonna let this mixer take off for 30 to 40 seconds. We'll scrape the bowl 1 time, and then we will go on to our apples. Everything is all mixed and ready to go. In this batter, we're gonna toss in about 1.5 cups of our apples. So we put these in here just like this, and they go. 1 last mix, and then this cake is on its way to the oven. This is greased and ready to go. It's an 8-inch pan. You can use a square pan or whatever it is you think you want. If you would like to use a bundt pan, which I do that a lot with this recipe, you need to double the recipe to make sure there's enough to fill up that bundt pan. Check that out. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 350, 25 to 30 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean, and then I'm gonna let you see the finished result. It is gonna be good. Apple cake is done. It's been out of the oven for about 30 minutes. We let it cool, had it on a cooling rack for a little while, and I've transferred it to this little platter. Now, while you're all up close, let me just show you what this looks like on the inside. It's so pretty, and look at this. Perfectly done cake, perfect crumb. You can see all of those seasonings in there. Remember we had cinnamon and nutmeg, and then those apples. I'm telling you, that's where it begins and ends with this dessert. And I'm talking too much. I want to dive in and take a taste of this. Look at that. It's perfect. It's moist and it's absolutely delicious. Try this apple cake. You are gonna love it, and so will the people you serve it to. Thanks for checking in with me today. I'll see you next time.